The most thrilling 35 days of Usher's career, presented by Soulful Charts. So if you watched my last video on Alicia Keys, if not, I encourage you to do so. You saw that I highlighted what I call the sweetest 16 days of her career. So in this video, I'm going to give Usher the same treatment, breaking down the specified period of days when Usher's career was flaming hot. I decided to name this series Dominant Days. Okay, let's jump right in on Usher's dominant days. Usher was one of the biggest recording artists in the 2000s. In fact, Joel Whitburn, the gentleman famous for his massive collection of Billboard chart history data, has Usher ranked in the top 5 throughout all of music in the 2000s decade, and ranked in the top 35 all time. Usher has experienced some of the biggest highs an artist can have in his or her career. But this video is going to focus on a 35-day period in the spring of 2004 that some may argue was the highest high in Usher's career. RIAA certifies gold and platinum albums and singles, and is one of the primary sources that I'll be using in this series. So based on RIAA's data, Usher has 5 platinum albums, 1 gold live album, 10 platinum singles, and 5 gold singles. But today, I'm going to highlight Usher's 4th album, Confessions. The album was released on Jermaine Dupri's So So Def label on March 23, 2004. So let's take a look at the certification dates of the Confessions album. So what immediately stands out? The album was released on March 23rd, and by April 26th, RIAA certified the album 3 times platinum. So the album achieved triple platinum status in just 35 days. Confessions sold about 3 million copies in the first 35 days of its release. In fact, Billboard reported that Confessions scanned 1.1 million copies sold in the first week of its release. That amazing first week sales feat etched Usher into the record books. So what drove the super surge in sales? Well, let's go to the Billboard charts. Confessions debuted at number 38 on the R&B charts on April 3rd, 2004. The following week, April 10th, it was the number 1 R&B album on Billboard. The album dominated the hip hop and R&B chart throughout the duration of 2004, spending a total of 11 weeks at number 1 on top of that chart. But what about the part album charts, known as the Billboard 200? Confessions debuted and peaked at number 1 on the part charts on the same week the album peaked at number 1 on the R&B charts, April 10th, 2004. The album spent 9 weeks at number 1 on the part charts. But here's what I found interesting about the R&B charts versus the part charts. Even though Usher's album spent 2 more weeks on top of the R&B charts than it did on the pop charts, most of Usher's reign on top of both charts happened between April and June of 2004. And what's fascinating is that Confessions performed slightly better on the part charts than it did on the R&B charts during that 12-week period. Between April and June, Confessions spent 8 weeks on the R&B charts while spending 9 weeks at number 1 on the part charts during those same 3 months. And while 4 consecutive weeks at number 1 was Confessions' longest streak on the R&B charts, the album had a stunning streak of 5 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the part charts. The key difference between both charts was the 3 consecutive weeks that Confessions spent at number 1 on the R&B charts in late October into early November in the latter part of 2004. So singles drive album sales. And Usher's lead single off the Confessions album gave the album the super surge it needed to move copies and break a first week sales record in the process. Yeah, featuring Ludacris and Lil Jon, was huge for Usher on both the R&B and pop charts. The formula was simple and very effective. You put an R&B heartthrob known for his dance moves, and you link him up with the maestro, Lil Jon, of a musical sound that was wreaking havoc on the streets and in the clubs, crunk music. And then you get one of the hottest MCs in the game, Ludacris, who also hails from Atlanta, where crunk music thrives, to rhyme on a crunk-laced track. In 2004, at the height of crunk's heyday, no less, and you're almost sure to have a massive hit. So let's see how well Yeah did on the R&B charts versus the pop charts. Yeah debuted on the R&B chart on January 3rd, 2004. It debuted at number 60, but it wouldn't stay there for long. Within 10 weeks, it peaked at number 1 on March 6, 2004. The smash hit was number 1 on the R&B charts for 8 consecutive weeks until April 24th, 2004. But what about the pop charts, aka the Billboard Hot 100? Yeah debuted at number 53 on Billboard Hot 100 on January 10, 2004, 1 week after its debut on the R&B chart. Within 8 weeks, the song peaked at number 1 on February 28, 2004, which was 1 week earlier than its number 1 peak on the R&B chart. But check this out. While Yeah spent 8 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the R&B charts, it spent 4 more, a total of 12 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the pop charts. Yeah was a huge hit on the R&B chart, and it made an even bigger splash on the pop charts. So let's summarize. Usher's thrilling 35 days between March 23rd and April 26, 2004. Usher's 4th album, Confessions, was number 1 on both the R&B and pop charts. The album spent 11 weeks on top of the R&B charts and 9 weeks on top of the pop album charts. The album's lead single, Yeah, featuring Ludacris and Lil Jon, was number 1 on both the R&B and pop charts. The record spent 8 consecutive weeks on top of the R&B charts and an astonishing 12 consecutive weeks on top of the pop charts. But let's go back to Confessions' RIAA page real quick. The certified sales of the album from its release in late March 2004 to the end of that year cemented Usher's legacy as one of the greats. By mid-December 2004, the album would be certified 8 times platinum, and then 9 times platinum the following year, May 2005. In November 2008, Confessions reached a remarkable milestone as it was certified 10 times platinum, diamond. That's over 10 million copies sold. A very impressive feat achieved by just a few recording artists in the history of pop music. Confessions is Usher's biggest selling album to date, and Yeah, the album's first release, is the singer's best performing single on the pop charts. Usher has had an outstanding career dating back to his teens, a career that spans close to 3 decades at this point. With that said, a persuasive case can be made that a period of several weeks between March 23rd and April 26th of 2004 were the most thrilling 35 days of Usher's career. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button and leave your thoughts in the comments. Have a soulful music topic you would like to see featured in an upcoming video? Let me know what the topic is, and maybe I'll tackle it in an upcoming video. So I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell in order to be notified when new videos get released. And one more thing, share this channel with other connoisseurs of soul music. Peace.